King Lear, the aging monarch at the center of Shakespeare's King Lear, stands as one of the most complex and devastating tragic figures in literature. His journey from prideful ruler to broken outcast to a man who attains a painful, fleeting clarity, forms the emotional, thematic, and moral backbone of the play. Through Lear's downfall, Shakespeare explores the boundaries of authority, the instability of identity, the cruelty of human nature, and the fragility of the social order. Role in the narrative. At the start of the play, Lear is introduced as an absolute monarch accustomed to unquestioned obedience. His fateful love test, in which his daughters must publicly proclaim their affection in exchange for land, sets the entire tragedy in motion. This test reveals both his vanity and his inability to distinguish genuine loyalty from performance. Goneril and Regan, skilled in flattery, quickly manipulate him, while Cordelia's honest refusal to exaggerate her love enrages him. Lear's impulsive decision to disown Cordelia and divide his power between the elder sisters marks the pivotal error of judgment that triggers the play's tragic chain of events. Through Lear's gradual descent, from the throne to homelessness in the storm to the brink of madness, the audience witnesses the unraveling of political authority and personal identity. Lear moves from a privileged, insulated world to the harsh reality of human suffering, allowing Shakespeare to explore themes of justice, morality, and redemption. The storm scene represents the climax of Lear's crisis. As the tempest rages, Lear's psychological turmoil becomes externalized. His stripped-down state exposes the truth that, without the trappings of power, he is merely a vulnerable human being. In this sequence, Lear evolves from a self-absorbed king to someone capable of empathy, particularly toward the poor naked wretches he previously ignored. His reunion with Cordelia in Act 4 marks a moment of reconciliation and clarity, yet tragedy returns with devastating force in Act 5, culminating in Cordelia's death and Lear's grief-stricken demise. Symbolic significance. Lear symbolizes the political and cosmic order of the kingdom. When he rashly abdicates responsibility and disrupts the natural hierarchy, chaos erupts not only in his family but throughout the state. Lear's downfall illustrates the consequences of ruling without understanding the people one governs. Lear is blind at the beginning, not literally but morally and emotionally. He cannot see the genuine integrity of Cordelia or Kent, nor the deceit of Goneril and Regan. His blindness is tied to his pride, and this inability to perceive truth leads directly to catastrophe. As the play progresses, Lear ironically gains the most profound insight only after everything has been stripped away. Lear's physical and mental unraveling symbolizes humanity's essential fragility. Stripped of his title, dignity, and sanity, Lear becomes the embodiment of the universal human condition, aging, powerless, and exposed to the elements. His suffering forces him to confront existential questions about identity, morality, and the nature of human life. In his madness, Lear expresses profound truths about injustice and human cruelty that he had never acknowledged as king. The repeated references to nature throughout the play underscore Lear's symbolic connection to the natural world. His division of the kingdom violates natural order. The storm symbolizes nature's response to human folly. By the end, he becomes a figure aligned with nature's harsh truths, stripped of civilization's illusions. Lear's final moments crystallize his psychological transformation. Though he dies in despair, his capacity for love has become human and sincere. His grief over Cordelia is agonizingly authentic. Shakespeare portrays Lear not simply as a tyrant or a victim but as a profoundly flawed and profoundly human figure who gains wisdom too late to escape tragedy. Broader implications. Lear's tragedy offers a critique of absolute monarchy and the dangers of rulers who govern without self-awareness. The play implies that political stability depends not only on hierarchy but on moral clarity and responsibility. Lear's abdication without foresight reveals the peril of handing power to the unworthy and the chaos that ensues when authority is severed from accountability. Lear's relationships with his daughters dramatize generational conflict, parental expectations, and the vulnerability of familial bonds. Shakespeare uses Lear's story to probe how love can be distorted by power and how parental blindness can destroy families. Lear's growth is marked by his recognition of Cordelia's virtue and his own destructive pride. Lear's suffering embodies Shakespeare's broader philosophical inquiry into whether suffering teaches wisdom. Though the play does not offer a comforting answer, Lear dies broken. It suggests that suffering can expose profound truths about the human condition, the need for compassion, the limitations of power, and the universality of pain. Conclusion. King Lear stands as one of Shakespeare's most haunting and multifaceted creations. His narrative journey, from powerful monarch to humble, broken man, anchors the play's exploration of authority, identity, loyalty, and human suffering. Symbolically, he represents the fragility of power and the painful path from blindness to insight. Psychologically, he embodies the contradictions of human nature: pride and vulnerability, rage and tenderness, folly and wisdom. The broader implications of his story extend beyond the stage, inviting reflection on politics, family, morality, and the existential uncertainties of life. Through Lear, Shakespeare presents a tragic vision that is both deeply personal and universally resonant. The king's downfall is devastating not only because it marks the death of a ruler, but because it illuminates the ways in which every human being, regardless of status, must confront the truths of love, loss, and the limits of human understanding.